Welcome to this third video and final video on summarizing. When we look at the language aspect of summarizing, we find that once you start to do that, you have this focus, this dichotomy. Either you focus on the content to summarize, or you can focus on the language. So let's try to do that as well. Let's first focus on the language. What can we do? One trick to use is using overarching words. For instance, what do the words drugs, gambling and prostitution have in common? You could think it's Saturday night. However, you could also say that these are covered by the topic of illegal activities. So overarching word illegal activities combines drugs, gambling and prostitution. Another technique that you could use is trying to use a noun phrase, so everything around a noun that is very compact. Instead of saying cell phones that are made in Japan, you simply say Japanese cell phone, and you save some words. Sometimes considering other word classes can also help you out. For instance, we're talking about a certain element X, it's rising, and this causes Y to do something else. Well, why not simply say, due to rising X, Y does something, and it's neater, it's more compact. So here we've got some language tricks that could help us out. But there's more than language. How about content? When you look at texts or paragraphs, what we find is that most paragraphs have one single main idea, and some support points, and finally details. So, when we want to summarize, you can choose what to leave out. Just the details or the support points, but most often we're just, of course, going to stick with the main idea. Let's look at an example. We've got a text here talking about facilities rental costs. Our facilities costs spiraled out of control last year. The 23% jump was far ahead of every other cost category in the company and many times higher than the 4% average rise for commercial real estate in the Portland area. The rise can be attributed to many factors, but the major factors include repairs, mostly electrical problems, energy, most of our offices are heated by expensive electricity rather than gas, and last but not least, the loss of 2 sublease tenants whose rent payments left a big dent in our budget. A paragraph. How can we summarize it? Let's take a look. The original paragraph has a main idea, some support ideas, underlined, and details. Looking at it, we find that we've got a clear topic sentence focusing on the main idea, right here, and then followed by some support points that are interrupted by some details clearly marked here between the brackets here. So, to summarize, let's get out the details. Let's break this down to a 45-word summary, where we say our facilities costs jumped 23% last year, which is the main idea that we neatly put a bit there more compact, and we just add all the support details that we have there. What are we doing? We're cutting out details, and we're also cutting out repetition, so we make sure that we do not repeat the same things twice. That already breaks it down to 45. But can we do better than that? Sure we can. We can cut that 45 words in half and reduce it to a 22-word summary. We just say, our facilities costs jumped 23% last year, due mainly to rising repair and energy costs and the loss of sublease income. What happened here? Well, first of all, we're using overarching concepts. Words like tenants, people renting apartments, becomes the more general, the more overarching concept of sublease income. Another thing that is happening here is that we use other word classes. Instead of saying factors contributing to the increase in, is just due to the rising something, and that is going to save us lots of time. So, very clearly, by using these techniques, focusing on the main idea, then support ideas, and then details, you can just take out details or support ideas, focus on the main message, and then with some language tricks, you'll find that summarizing is going to become so much easier. I hope these tricks will help you out. I just need to mention here that this very good example was taken from the book by author Dylan Beauvais, 2008, Excellence in Business Communication. By the way, a very good read for any student in economic English. Best of luck with the summarizing.